God, girl, it's so cool seeing you as a mom.
I forgot her name.
Corey.
Corey?
Yeah.
Like Kora.
Right?
Yeah.
Corey. Oh my God. This guy calls me Coco.
No.
Yeah, and every time he does, I think of you.
Aw. Girl, I don't know why everyone calls me Coco.
That was my dream. I wanted to be a mom since I was like fucking 5 years old.
Really?
Yep.
So
Yeah.
cute.
Why don't you show Corey your mouse?
Yeah. Oh my God. Oh, it's real.
Oh, you thought it was fake?
Look at that. We have a bowl.
You don't shake it though, okay?
Look.
Oh, that's so cute. You gotta get some exercise.
Yeah.
There you go. Do not near the stairs.
Oh no.
Not near the stairs. Because they could die. They could have a heart attack
Wow.
if they fall.
How old is he?
5. He's gonna be 6 in June.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
That's so cute. I can't wait to be a mom. I just I can't even find a man right now. So at a time. Okay, guys. So right now on the podcast, I have Kora Gracie.
Hello.
Who was my first friend at Greenbrier Academy. We're gonna talk about her experience today. We're gonna talk about like what we remember back and forth.
Okay, I'm ready.
Oh my gosh. So we're reunited for the first time in like 11 years.
I know. I keep telling you to come to fucking Jersey. You never show up.
Girl, I have
But I
to.
don't blame you.
Okay, no, I want to. Actually, I was talking to a Jersey boy the other day and I was like,
Ooh.
he's my type. Like,
No. Jersey's
crazy.
horrible right now.
Really?
Yeah, nothing's open.
It's like
Yeah.
that here too, though. No, like literally through quarantine, I became a platinum member on Uber Eats. So I was like,
Oh, dude, me too. Me too. But I put my friend's credit card on my Uber Eats, and then he hits me up one day and he's like, dude, you spent $300 like in a week on my Uber Eats. And I was like, oh, I'm gonna have to stop ordering them. Yeah.
Yeah, I can't even think about that. Like how I'd be rich right now if I didn't just
Exactly.
Episode 2. Breaking Code Silence. Part 2 with Kora Gracie.
Just like old times.
I just opened a bottle. Just for you, because I haven't been drinking. I haven't drank since my birthday. This is like a jalapeno tequila shot, so I might die.
Ooh. Oh no.
I know. What did you get?
Bourbon.
Ooh,
So
sexy.
yeah. Let's see.
Okay.
So sexy.
Cheers for being reunited. Damn, that shit's good. You know I'm psycho for taking spicy tequila shot with no fucking backup. Or what's it called?
Chaser? Yeah. I need a chaser.
No.
I'm such a
like,
pussy. Fuck tequila.
no.
Ugh.
One shot and done.
No.
Oh my God.
It's gotta be at least 3.
Okay, true. Like I gotta be able to hang a little bit.
Yeah, exactly.
We're supposed to be bad girls, right? That's
Yeah.
like
That's why we get sent away. We're
yeah.
bad.
Okay. Before we start, let's just take a second to realize like we really were sent away and like our parents like what we're about to talk about is so weird. Like so when I was making part 1, it was really a trip to go back in time and actually think and see pictures from that time in our life because
Right.
once it was over, I don't know about you, but I was done. Like I never looked back. I never wanted to see anything. Shit got worse for a while before it got better. But
Yeah.
I was like, this is not something I want to discuss or think about or remember.
Right.
And then I watched this documentary called This Is Paris on YouTube. And it was
The
actually
Paris Hilton one?
yes. Did you see it?
No, I like saw like a trailer for it. And I was like, oh, she went through what I went through.
Yes. Oh my God, girl, you have to watch it. So
Yeah.
I watched it and I had the same reaction. And I was like, wait, but Paris is like hot and she's rich and
Right. And famous. Like,
yeah.
famous.
So I'm like, I feel a little bit less like a freak now that like knowing that like she went through it too. I don't know if you ever heard the rumor too, but like I heard a rumor at GBA that like Demi Lovato had toured the school. Did you ever hear that?
No.
Yeah, I was like, oh wow, you're name dropping somebody. That doesn't mean I want to be here. Like,
Yeah, right.
Right. Like,
It's like, yeah, she toured it and then thought it wasn't good enough. So
yeah, literally. So that makes it even worse.
Yeah.
But seeing the documentary and her talk about it made me feel comfortable sharing it and talking about it.
Right.
Were you escorted?
No.
You weren't.
No.
So
I was
parents came and dropped
not.
you off.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, girl. So get into that. Oh,
So, because it was like wilderness first, right? So my dad comes up to me with like a pamphlet and he's like, oh, you're going to go camping for the weekend. And I was like, I don't want to go
weekend.
camping. Yeah, he's like, it's just going to be you. If you don't like it, like just call us. It's just for a week maximum. And then if anything, you can leave. I was like, I don't want to fucking go. They're like, well, look at the pamphlet. It's going to be great. But
that makes everything better.
it ended up, and I was like, no, I'm not going. I'm moving in with my friends, like my friend's house next door. I'm living with her. So like I come back to get all my shit. And then him, like my dad and my cousin ambushed me. Yeah. Yeah.
Stop. Your own dad.
Like, me around. Yeah.
He's probably better than an escort too, because your dad knows all the moves and like the jujitsu shit. Like you take it around him.
Yeah. They fucking, because my dad told me after, he's like, yeah, they called us and asked if we needed help to bring you in. And he's like, I don't need fucking help to bring her in. But, yeah.
Of course.
He's like chasing me around like this fucking table we have in like the main room or whatever. And then they both like catch me. They're like dragging me downstairs, putting me in the car. Like one sitting in the back seat with me, holding me to not let me out of the car.
No way.
Yeah.
Were you so pissed?
Oh, dude, yeah. I was like crying. I was like, I'm not fucking going. But I ended up going. And I was like, I'm going to get someone to pick me up. Like, yeah, right. I'm like 16. None of my friends drive. No one's going to drive 9 hours to pick me up in New York.
That's that teenage mind, though. Anything's possible.
Right. But I show up there with a black eye because, like, in the midst of things, like a hand went flying somewhere, and then they're like, "Oh, do your parents abuse you?" And like, for a split second, I could have been like, "Yes, they do," and maybe I would have got out of it. But I was, like, I'm not some fucking like little bitch, and I was like, "Yeah, they don't abuse me." Like,
I just have a fucking black eye, but it's fine. This is normal.
Yeah, but I didn't even know I had it because you weren't allowed mirrors or anything.
Right. They take everything from you, right?
Yeah. So like when you went to the doctor or like the dentist, wherever the fuck they took us to, for like a split second, I used like a public restroom. And that's when I saw my eye. I was like, oh, okay.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Okay. So they drive you 9 hours. So tell me about your wilderness program, because I actually didn't go to a specific wilderness program. I was escorted. So my parents did the transportation service straight to Greenbrier.
Okay.
And then my first or second day at Greenbrier, I was sent up to the village. So that was like my wilderness.
Right. Yeah. So the wilderness it's like, okay, it's not bad. If you like camping and like hiking for fucking like 14 miles a day, like it's for you. Yeah.
Like, nah, I'm good.
Like I told them, I was like, hey, because I in like 3 months I finished the program and then they sent me off to boarding school. I was like, you guys, I'll come back here if you guys let me have my phone. And they're like, yeah, no.
You've always been such a negotiator.
It's like I kind of like this. Like it's fun. Besides the shitty food and like
and like pissing and
oh yeah.
Dude,
yeah. Dude, that's the fucking, I would hold my shit for like fucking 3 days because I did not want to poop in the fucking, because you had to dig a hole. I was like, I'm not digging a hole to take a shit. It's not happening.
I would never.
So I would like hold it and like wait till we got back to camp and I would use an outhouse. I was like, not pooping in the fucking woods. Like where there's no fucking toilet paper. Get the fuck out of here.
That's so unhealthy.
Yeah.
Like we're gonna save your daughter's health. Let's have her constipated for a week.
Oh yeah, they made me shit in a bag. Like
What?
my first
Shit in a bag. Like my first.
week there, yeah, to make sure I wasn't constipated with the food that they were giving me. Yeah, so I had to like shit in a bag and like bring it back to them, and they're like, "Okay, good." Now go throw it out.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
She's good, guys. She had a good shit. Like we're good. We're good to go here. That's so freaking weird.
Oh, 100%.
I would
And then-
automatically be constipated just from the idea of like having to poop around someone. Like,
Yeah, dude, I like had really bad stomach pains because I didn't want to fart around anybody.
Yeah.
And they're like, no, like the other girls there are just fucking ripping ass, and I'm like, dude,
ew.
I'm not used to this yet. No,
Yeah, I
"Oh,
know.
Don't worry, like you can either have stomach pains or not. So like, what do you want to do? Like,
Ew. I'm done. I actually, you definitely had it worse than I did in terms of like the adjustment period, because I got to go to the school, but I do remember like one of my roommates, I finally got to see my room and I went to pee, and that was like my first private pee of the day, or what I thought it would be. And like the girl just barges in, starts washing her hands while I'm on the toilet. I just was like,
right?
bitch,
They
like,
don't
what
give
the
a
fuck?
I'm like, I'm not used to this.
No, she was like, you won't be pee shy by the end of this week. I was like, oh, like
dude,
we're doing it like this.
I had a fucking girl come up to me, and when I went to Greenbrier,
Oh no.
and she's like, "Oh, do you like girls or guys?" And I was like, "I like guys." And she's like, "Okay, well, you're gonna like girls by the end of this." I was like, "Excuse me."
I just never really I'm not a wilderness girl. Like I never had a good experience like at the village. Like I talked about a lot of the cult activities that we did at the village too. Like, did you do the one where we had to carry the rock up the other mountain? They like gave us a big rock and we literally had to carry it up like this mini mountain.
We might have,
like vaguely remember
but
that?
not there.
Not
I
at the
don't
wilderness?
really remember it. No, I don't really
mean,
remember it.
Oh, okay. And then there was
like
one
the fucking sweat lodge and like singing like earth my body, fire my blood. Do you remember that? No. They never made you sing that?
I mean, I feel like they did. It's just like my memory like totally blocked it out.
Yeah.
The weird shit that I was like, yeah, there was one too. The worst one for me was when they woke us up in the middle of the night, and like other girls warned you that it was coming because they were scarred from it already, but like they walk you to the other bonfire and then they like throw you in a mini ditch and like bury you alive.
What?
You didn't do that one?
No, I didn't do that one.
Bitch. You must have, maybe you got out of the rotation, because I remember when you got pulled out, like,
100%. Yeah.
like I had just gotten back from the village a while ago and I was like, the bitch that's next. Like any of my friends, like I need to prepare them because
I think there was like 4 that you had to do because it's like east, west, whatever the fuck.
Oh,
I think I only did 2. I only did 2 of them.
Oh, you lucky motherfucker.
I know. Yeah.
I forgot. Okay, so the village, it was like, it goes by the compass. So
yeah,
north, south, east, west. Like which direction are we going with the torture today?
Yeah.
So there was one where they like threw us in a ditch and buried us alive, and like we had to think about what it would be like to be put in an early grave. And I talked about that on part 1. And I was like low-key really hoping, not really, but that you had gone through that too, so we could discuss.
Oh, thank God I have not.
That was.
You're like, bitch, I wish you went through this with me.
Yeah. Like, God damn it. Like, who else am I going to talk to about this? Like, I can't talk to normal people in real life these days. Like, hey, what did you go through?
Buried alive? Like, what happened?
Yeah. They like don't understand like how I can laugh at certain things. Like we're talking about getting buried alive and we're like, ha, 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 like that's so fucking normal to us. Like all my friends, it's weird saying normal because like what really is normal, but with people that just went to homecoming and went to prom and they may have gotten in a fight with their parents, but there wasn't really anything else besides that, I'm glad we can laugh about it now and stuff, but it creates a dark sense of humor, which I fuck with, but we're jumping. So back to wilderness. So like, talk to me more about that. So that sucked clearly.
Oh yeah.
So how long were you there? And like, did they make you do anything weird or were you just hiking the whole day?
3 months. It's literally like hiking the whole day and waking up at like fucking 6 a.m. hiking till basically it gets dark and then you set up camp.
And you set up your own tent and everything.
Right. You had like X amount of minutes to like set it up. And if you don't do it in that, they make you take it all down and do it again. And it's fucking freezing. Like there was snow on the ground in upstate New York in the Adirondack Mountains.
No.
I'm like, oh God, I am not built for cold. You know?
No. You're pretty small too.
Yeah. And like, I don't really get hungry like a lot. But I remember like the first week I was there, they're like, no, you have to eat. Like,
Yeah.
you have to eat in this time period of like whatever, because we hike so much and all this stuff. So I was just pissed. And they give you like food for the week. So I was pissed and I ate like a whole block of cheese. I didn't realize that was going to be my whole cheese for the fucking week. Yeah.
They didn't tell you that part?
No.
You're like, let's watch them suffer.
Yeah,
Entertaining.
Oh, dude, by the fucking end, I was eating a jar of peanut butter in 2 days.
So you were there for 3 months, and then did you think you were going home, or like
yeah,
what
I thought
happened?
I was going home. I thought I was going home, and then like they brought my parents down, and they're like, "Hey, so you have the option between these 2 boarding schools," and I was like, "Boarding schools? I want to go home. I don't
Yeah.
want to go to a boarding school." And they're like, no, you're going to a boarding school. Like, you need to go to a boarding school. I was like, I don't need anything.
Yeah. You're like, bitch, don't tell me
Like,
what
I
to
need
do.
to be home.
Yeah.
But yeah, my parents, like, they took me home for 2 days and then they talked to me. They're like, oh, what school do you want to go to? Like, there's this co-ed school or there's this all-girls school. And I was like, I want to go to the co-ed school.
Right.
That sounds fun. I'll go to
some bad boys.
Yeah, exactly. But then like when my parents went to go check out that school, there was already a kid getting arrested. Like as soon as they go in. Yeah. So
what was the school?
I couldn't tell you. I don't.
Oh my God, that's so crazy.
Yeah. So they're like, yeah, she's not going here. So they put me in a fucking in Greenbrier. I was like, I don't want to go. But then
So they drove you again?
Yeah, they drove me again. That time was easier.
You were willing?
Yeah, I just cried about it but got in the car. I was like, I know you guys can overpower me. So
yeah. I'm surprised you didn't try to run away when you got home from wilderness.
I should have.
So looking back, would you have done that?
I would have, yeah.
That's how bad Greenbrier is, people.
Yeah.
To this day, 11 years later, she's like, yeah, I would have ran away.
I knew, like, yeah, 100%. But I thought it was going to be the same shit, like another 3 months. If I don't like it, leave. But no, it was not that.
So wilderness or Greenbrier, which was worse for you?
Probably Greenbrier.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Less freedom, I guess.
Yeah. And it's just like, it's hiking in the woods, you know, like we're whatever. And it was 3 months. It wasn't a year out of my life that I was like, doing nothing and just stagnant in a place.
Yeah, the hard part about Greenbrier was you really were just sitting there like all day, kind of like praying for your time to come where you can leave. Like, are my parents gonna get their shit together at some point?
Run away or like
In the first episode, I talk about 2 things and they both involve you. And I was like so excited that you were down to talk because you're like a dope person, and how you were portrayed at that school was bullshit. Yeah. Like, to the point where I even got demoted off of respect, or was it, you remember that? Like, we broke in the pantry one time together, like you convinced me to come. So I came and then they called me down, like how they had the council meetings in the basement. They like called me down there and they were like, so we don't think it's a good idea for you to continue hanging out with Kora. Like, and to show you that, we're going to have to demote you from courtesy and compassion back to respect so that you can learn how to respect yourself.
That's
enough.
right. That whole time I never left respect. I stayed on respect.
You were pulled out on respect?
I was pulled out on respect. For the whole year I was there. Never leveled up. Yeah. And nothing I did was that bad.
No, you weren't. No.
No.
The difference is that you questioned authority and you called people out on their bullshit,
Yeah.
which is what we were all too afraid to do, but absolutely should have done. Like that should have been done every time, but it wasn't. And you, to be honest, like that's part of why I think I ended up distancing a little bit. Like you were getting closer with other people and so was I, but I remember from the beginning, like it was me and you, like we were pretty inseparable at one point. Like, and after I got demoted, I think something came over me where I was like, oh my God, like
I have to do this to get
I
the
have
fuck
to
out
get
of
the
here.
fuck out of here. Like survival of the fittest motherfuckers. Like I need to do whatever it takes. And so that's when I was like, even if it takes losing one of the only people that I actually fuck with here, like I have to, like anything to get out. I'll say S, her name S. When she came, you know what I'm talking about?
Okay. Yeah.
I low-key was like a little jealous when you guys became friends. Cause I was like, damn, like I have a choice, but I don't have a choice. But like this bitch is replacing me. Fuck her. So like I was blown. What's weird was she ended up at my school once I was out of Greenbrier.
Oh, so, yeah. I think
like,
I remember that.
Yeah, me and her beefed so hard there. And then she, like, I was in Canada or something, and she hit me up and she was like, hey girl, like when you get back, I'm at your school now. Like, I was like, fuck, dude. Like, I thought I was done with your shit. Like now, now I gotta graduate with your ass. Like, but then we ended up being best friends.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, we were best friends through high school once we got out, but we fought at that school. And you come from a family of fighters, so I don't know what the fuck I was thinking. Like, but I remember there was one day where you were on your prank shit and you and Sav put some toothpaste in one of my khakis.
Yeah.
And
exactly.
and then you you gave it to another girl.
Yeah, and I was like, oh, here, can you give these to Corey?
And I was laying in my bed. It was like almost like bedtime. She comes in and she's like, hey girl. And she's waving the khakis. And I'm like, are those my khakis? Where the fuck did you get those? They're supposed to be in the laundry. What are you doing? And then she whips them onto my face. And it smelled like toothpaste. I got toothpaste on my face. And I was like,
she's like, it wasn't me. I was told to do this by Kora. I was sent by Kora. So you need to deal directly with her.
So like I charged. Like I was like seeing black, I feel like. And I remember I ran down the hallway to your room. And I was
banging on the door, trying to open it and trying to fight. I pushed you or something. And you were like laughing. Don't do this, Corey. Like, do not try this. We may not be on the best terms anymore, but I'm not going to fight you, girl. Like, I'm not doing it. And then I remember you pushed me out and, like, slammed the door. And I was like, I'm going to go.
But I was not the only one that dealt with pranks by you. I remember there was the time that you peed in the shampoo bottle.
Peed in the shampoo bottle?
Oh, yes.
What was going through your mind with that? Like,
dude, I can't remember why I did it. But here's the thing. When you get a bunch of girls, right, and you put them together and you take out TV and like you only have movie nights once a week and every week someone's like, oh, I'm triggered, so you can't watch the fucking movie.
That's so true.
Yeah. So it's just like there's literally nothing to do unless you had horses at the school. And I didn't have a horse there. My parents didn't.
That's true.
Yeah. So what the fuck else am I supposed to do? I got bored, right? So like to fill my mind with things. And when I would get mad at someone, I'm like sitting there like, how can I fuck up their day today? I'll pee in her shampoo. You know, like she'll be washing her hair with my fist. Like, fuck this bitch.
Literally, that's what happens though. I'm glad that you brought that up because people that weren't crazy go crazy in a place like that.
100%. Yeah.
And if, you know, whether it's the girls around you or the mentors or the therapist or whoever, somebody's there is pushing your button and trying to test you and you're gonna break. Like at some point, everybody is gonna crack a little bit. Like people there were batshit crazy. There was definitely girls that shouldn't have been there. And then there was girls that was like, okay, like, I don't know
I understand why you're here.
Yeah.
If you got sent there for fucking smoking pot or something, or like talking to your parents, like, why the fuck are you here?
Yeah, you shouldn't be there. Especially because I learned behaviors there that I took with me outside that I don't think I ever would have learned had I not been placed in a facility like that.
I remember one of the girls used to like fake taking her Ritalin pills. Yeah, and then like me and her would share them.
No way.
So, yeah,
Who?
I don't remember who.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
Damn.
whoever in there used to take Ritalin, they would share it with me.
What is Ritalin? Which one's that?
It's the one that's like for ADD or ADHD. It just gets you
So
like.
y'all were like wired.
I was wired. Yeah, I guess you could take them and feel normal. I don't know, but I was
Damn.
fucking wired. Yeah,
I
would
would wanted
not
like a
sleep.
Valium.
Yeah, yeah. I should have gotten
Yeah.
those. Who was taking those?
Right? Where are the bitches with the Xanax?
Right, exactly.
Like, I'm trying to relax. Like,
Yeah, I was not trying to stay up. Yeah,
Yeah.
I did that a couple of times, and I was like, "This isn't for me. This one, I don't like it."
Yeah, because it's like we're just sitting there the whole day.
Right.
Now
Oh
you're
wait,
just
like in the middle.
pacing.
Yeah. Where you have to keep your lights off. Fucking sneaking downstairs and doing my own laundry.
You would sneak and do your own laundry?
Yeah.
Girl.
You didn't know that?
No, but
I
this is
fucking
why you
hate
were dope. You got away with shit. Nobody knew. I give you an award as like the ultimate troublemaker of that school. Yeah. Okay, so about this map. So
Yes. I can probably, if I knew. Oh, it's right here. Do you want me to show you, or do you want me?
Hell yeah.
All right.
Okay.
It's fucking book. I stole this book from some girl, by the way. Like
At Greenbrier?
it was like, yes, it was her journal, and then like it didn't have anything in it, but then I taped it up, right? So it like looked like this, and it doesn't look like her journal anymore.
Right.
But she knew I took it. She just never said anything. Because I think
probably
she
scared of you.
Oh, where did you get this? And I'm like, I don't know.
You do. You had to pick your fights. Like you're
Oh,
living with these girls, you know?
Yeah, yeah. And I like to fight, so what's up?
Yeah, you pushed people's buttons for sure.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, the fucking someone stole my shirt from there. I never found out who it was. Like a really nice shirt. Never got that shit back. Yeah.
That sucks.
This is the map.
Oh my God, I'm dead. Countries I want to party.
Yeah, we wrote that, but it's like the countries that we want to, and I'm fucking because they're states.
Oh my God, and I didn't even call you out on that right now.
I know.
That's that Greenbrier education for you.
Right, exactly. That's what happens when you cheat on your test, you know? Yeah. You're not actually studying.
That's so funny.
Bad.
I mean, but that shows also like how much time we really did have doing absolutely nothing. The fact that you were able to write out an entire map
of the fucking US, have like red zones, states I don't go to, like which state should we go? Like, and that one girl, fuck, I forgot her name, but she ran away before. She's like, yeah, she would hitchhike with truckers.
What?
Yeah. She would hitchhike with truckers, and she got down like through a couple states doing that.
Shut up.
Her.
Was I with her? I went to school with her?
I think so, yeah. She had like freckles.
An unsuspected threat.
Yeah. Yeah. We'd hitchhike with these truckers, and they would take us, and we would see like these prostitutes that they were called sloth lizards or something, or lot lizards. And I'm like, bro, even at that time, like that I wanted to run away, I was like, would I really trust a fucking trucker to drive me?
Like, this is not a good option.
Yeah. And especially like a bunch of like, what was it? Like a fucking gang of 3 girls, you know, like, hey guys, let's go.
3 teenagers. Yeah. With nothing.
Right.
I was like, I don't live that far.
Right.
Maryland to West Virginia.
Yeah.
So, girl, like, if we can get to Maryland, I can get us contacts and shit.
Right.
But I got sent to to the village the next day that we were having that conversation. And I feel like after that, I totally pussied out because I got caught trying to give one girl a letter.
The letters. Yeah.
And then I was like, girl, I cannot get caught trying to run away. Like, if this doesn't go well, I'm going to wilderness and I can't handle it there. So like,
yeah, I'm staying here.
Yeah. Like, at least I get a dorm room here. the other thing besides the demotion that I did bring up in my part 1 is the first fight that I had my first night. I was on the bed with you. And speaking of the map, you brought out the map and you were like, hey girl, you're the new intake. Nice to meet you. I would love to recruit you to run away with me.
Right.
And I had just gotten there. I was like, this is not happening. Like,
there were girls, but you have to understand, like, there were girls that were there for like 2 years already.
Yeah. Anyway, so me and you were on the bed. Same thing going through my head. I'm like, I cannot fucking stay here. Like, I had done some of my own shit. Like, I was like secretly writing letters, and I had like manipulated a couple of the girls on higher aspirations to like take them to a mailbox on an off-campus visit.
Right.
And I ended up getting caught. Like, the bitch snitched, and I was in so much trouble. Like, I lost contact with my parents for over a month. But like, so I'm on the bed with you, comes in, and I don't know if you remember this, but she was like,
you short fat bitch, like I heard you were talking shit about me,
blah 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 blah. And I just like was looking at you, and I was like, what is she talking about? Like, I've never seen her before. Like, what is happening? And I remember you told me to get up and defend myself, because you're like, the bitches here are crazy. If you let one girl walk all over you, you're gonna be fucking bait, bitch. So get your ass up. So I was like, okay, like I guess. So like, I didn't know what to do. And I just remember she was talking all this shit, tried to walk away. So I grabbed her ponytail and I yanked it down and I hit her. And then I went into the hallway and I fucking cried. And then you came out in the hallway and sat with me. And you're like, yeah, good job. Like,
yeah, dude, good fucking job. Don't sit there and cry, you know? Like,
yeah.
For?
Yeah. So what do you remember about that moment?
I do remember the hair pulling and the punching. I do not remember why.
Okay.
It was like 10 years ago. You know,
I
like,
was so shocked. Yeah. Well, so it's cool talking to you about it, because I feel like I have these vague memories. Like, part of me even wondered, like, did I really pull her hair and hit her? Like, did I really do that? But like,
yeah, bitch, you did.
Because it was so long ago. And at that place, you do things that are so out of character.
Right.
So what is your relationship like with your parents now? Has it improved since the year you were sent away? And do you resent them for sending you away?
I have a pretty good relationship with my parents now. Do I resent them? No. Like, do I wish they didn't do that?
Yeah.
Like, it would have been nice if I stayed home and they dealt like with whatever problems that they thought I had at home. Yeah, but it was more of like my mom pushing me to like stay there, and my dad like wanted me out.
And your dad did it anyway? Is that kind of what happened? So do you
like
harbor...
he told my mom that that I got kicked out.
Oh shit.
Yeah, he's like, oh yeah, she got kicked out. They don't want her there anymore.
Did she find out?
And no, I don't think so. Maybe now, because I'm sure I brought it up to her.
Yeah.
But but she doesn't really like care about it now, you know.
Right. It's so much time has gone by.
Yeah.
It's like, it's weird, dude. It's 11 years later.
Right.
Like, you're a mom now.
Yeah, I know.
How old were you when you were sent there?
16.
Okay.
I just turned 16, like, I think the day of or the next day.
That's so sad.
Oh, I know. I was like, can I be here for my birthday? And they're like, no, sorry. But they sent me flowers, you know, to make up for it.
That's so much better.
Yeah. Here these flowers for your birthday. Have fun. Yeah.
I make such a big deal out of my birthday. Like, I would literally never have talked to my parents again. I would have been like, wow. One fucking day.
Right.
Never again.
So I don't know if you know this. My dad, when he pulled me out from the school, they wanted him to keep paying.
Ooh, of course they did.
Yeah, they're like, oh, well, she has a
paychecks.
contract. Yeah, she has a contract here, so you have to keep paying. And he's like, okay. let me know when all the girls are on vacation so there's no kids here, and I'm gonna come back here and burn down the fucking facility.
Oh,
And yeah, and then the guy was like, all right, just give me one moment. And then like he leaves and comes back and he's like, okay, Mr. Gracie, like you don't need to pay anything, like don't worry about it. And he's like,
what
okay,
a little bitch.
I'm taking my daughter home and I'm taking the dog too.
And I'm taking the dog too.
So, and then that was it.
Wow,
then,
your
yeah.
dad is such a boss.
Yeah.
He saved your life.
Oh, 100%. And he knew I was using my phone in there because I broke it and like stole my phone, and he was paying for my phone
What?
bill. Yeah. You didn't know I had my phone there?
Girl, like, let's get into this. What's going on?
I broke into the administration office and took my phone out of the
You naughty
fucking
girl.
thing. Yeah.
I love it.
And they I think they found out one time. They like asked like, oh, did you have a phone? I was like, you guys fucking lost my phone. Are you serious? You guys have to pay for a new one. Like I blamed it on them. And I was like, how the fuck am I gonna get through a bolt lock? That's not me. But I was stealing all the fucking keys from the mentors and shit.
I remember that.
Yeah.
That's how you got in the pantry, right?
No.
No?
That I would fucking do with like a coat hanger and a shoelace. Yeah.
You taught yourself?
Yeah. Yeah. I was like, the shoelace is too thin, like too wobbly to get in there. Let me get the coat hanger. But then they put a deadbolt lock there, and then I would have to start stealing the keys to get into the pantry.
Damn.
Yeah.
They caught on you.
They did.
They couldn't demote you.
Yeah. And then they called my dad too for that shit. They're like, oh, your daughter's stealing food from like the teachers in the pantry. And he's like, oh, okay, so you're telling me that the food the teacher gets is different than what you guys feed my kid.
Oh shit. Yeah.
And they're like, no, it's just like sometimes they bring food in from home. And he's like, okay, well, I don't really care if she's stealing food.
Right.
Like,
yeah, that's also like you need to handle that. That's why they're paying the money.
Right. Like you're paying them like over fucking 80 grand to stay there. And you guys are gonna call about fucking food. Like
the fact that the founder of this entire school was accused of, being responsible for like the death of a student at the school he had previously had before Greenbrier.
Right. He shouldn't have opened another school.
No, like the fact that he was allowed to, the fact that our parents, I was like, did y'all research this at all? Because if you Google Greenbrier, it's the first thing that comes up. And I'm like, y'all put us there anyway.
Yeah.
So, okay. So you were able to steal phone.
Yeah. So
how long did you have a phone on you?
Oh, dude, the whole time. Yeah.
I wish I stayed your friend. Damn.
Yeah. My phone would only work in a specific bathroom because there was no service in the middle of fucking West Virginia.
Right.
I would be able to get 2 bars in like this one bathroom. And that's the bathroom me and this other girl would always hang out in. And like the mentors would start knocking. Yeah. And eventually they put like a fucking table with like, they basically set up like as if it was like a dinner date. I don't know if they thought like what the fuck we were doing in there. I mean, it looks pretty sketch. They probably
and some girls were doing weird shit in the bathrooms.
Yeah,
let's be honest.
100%. But that was not me. Like, I am not gay whatsoever.
No.
Yeah,
you're just trying to get that service.
Yeah, exactly. Trying to get on Facebook, like talk to my boyfriend at the time.
That is so amazing.
I still love you.
Wow. Okay, so is there anything else like that where was that the biggest like success that you pulled over them?
That and I convinced them that I didn't want to do the schoolwork anymore and I would just do the tests. And if I would pass the test, like they would grade me based on that. What they didn't know was I was sneaking into the school part, right? And going into the teacher's like the teacher guide. Yeah. And fucking copying all the answers to the quiz and like the tests and shit. And then when I would go and take the test, like I had all the answers. So I was getting like 100% on everything. Dude, the only reason I passed that fucking school was because I was cheating the entire time.
See, okay, here's the thing.
Yeah.
It's not like we were really getting much of an education there anyway.
Oh,
so
yeah. You had one student fucking the teacher. Do you remember that?
You fucking the teacher, do you remember that?
Girl, yes. That's so fucked up though. Like, I remember I saw him. I finally had earned, actually, at this point, I think I was pulled out of the school and I had gone back one time to visit. Like, I took one of my best friends at the time off campus for dinner and I saw him at the hotel. And I was like, it was so awkward. It's like, bro, like you were fucking someone's roommate. Like, you were fucking one of the minors at this school with me. And I'm sitting here in the hotel with you right now. Like,
yeah, and I remember they sat us down to tell us, like, because there were obviously rumors going around.
Right.
And they sat us down and I was like, I can't believe you guys would start a rumor like this.
And putting it on us. Yeah.
Right. But it, like, the guy got fired.
He did.
And and one of the students found the notes between that girl and the fucking teacher.
No.
Yeah, because they would write notes to each other. So
that's
it's
so stupid.
Right. Like, there's evidence.
Damn, I didn't know there was evidence.
Yeah.
Oh, shit. I mean, I knew that eventually it was true when he was fired, but like,
right. Yeah.
I mean, damn, to like, you got to be really dumb, you know?
Oh, 100%.
That's
especially
crazy.
like with a bunch of fucking like 17 and under, you know, like, how the fuck do you get caught?
But I don't think they really properly screened anybody that worked there.
Oh no. Dude,
Like,
I was getting cigarettes from the person that worked the stables.
Shut
Yeah.
up.
Yeah.
Girl, where? Like, I was not connected.
Everybody. Like, I wasn't moving up and like the levels, but I was friends with like all the fucking mentors, the fucking just the therapist hated me.
It comes down, you did. People fell in love with you though. Like, they either hated you or they loved you. Like, there was no in between. But that's, if we're looking at this now, I feel like you survived, right? That's what it came down to. We were all just trying to survive. And I feel like you actually survived in a little bit more of a comfortable way than the rest of us.
Right. Yeah.
And that's because you risked.
I would like trying to find like shit to do. And I'm like, oh, she's a smoker. Hey, what's up? Like, let me get one.
That's finesse some shit.
Yeah, exactly.
But it shows character. I have a lot of respect for you, to be honest. Like, first of all, you're successful now. Like, you're doing great. You look good. You're a great mom. Like, you have all this shit going for you. But on top of that, it's like, while you were there, not only were you fearless, but you have no shame now looking back at like what you did. Oh,
right.
See,
yeah,
success.
My brother. Yeah.
I was like, is that your relationship? That's your man.
My man's working out right now. He has a fight coming up.
Ooh.
Yeah, April 1st. It's his second pro fight.
Boom. Wow. Mm-hmm. Is it gonna be televised?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
On UFC Fight Pass.
You guys watch her boyfriend's fight.
There you go. April 1st. Yeah.
Okay, so you manage successful relationships now. So clearly the school didn't affect you too much, or did it in certain ways with relationships?
So when I first got out, because I was like so deprived of everything, right? Like, you literally nothing to do. You're fucking bored, hanging out with a bunch of girls.
Right.
I got out, broke up with my fucking long distance boyfriend. And my fucking boyfriend that I had since I was like 14. I was like,
wow,
we're done. And started dating like this kid like near Trenton who like had gauges, like the whole look, you know.
I feel like I remember this.
Yeah. And then like we got into a bunch of like heavy drugs.
Okay.
Yeah. And then like did that for a while, and my dad found out.
Oh no.
Yeah. So he found out because like I got arrested and I had to call, right? I didn't want to call them. So I called my sister and I was like, Kat, and she's like, what's up? And I just started bawling. And I was like, because when they arrested me, I'm thinking the bail is like $500 or something.
Right.
Right. And they're like, yeah, so you're going to have to call someone to post the bail. And I was like, I have that. You could just take me to my house. And they're like, you're not going to have what we need you to pay. Yeah. And I was like, okay, like how much is it? They're like $10,000. I was like,
oh, that hurts.
It did hurt. And so I got arrested, and then they called my sister, and there wasn't enough money in the house to post my bail, but they could have just got like a bail bondsman. But then they called my parents, and my dad was in California. He's like, "You're not fucking bailing her out. Leave her there." And then when I went to the county jail, like before they even booked me, I luck out so many times throughout life. My dad's friend, right, works in the jail. He's like the corrections officer.
Wow.
He posts my bail. And he's like, no, I cannot let her stay here because the girls section is worse than the guys. And so he posts my bail. He takes me home, whatever. And I go to court. All the charges end up getting dropped. Wow. So like, yeah, I really luck out. Like knock on wood.
Yeah, that's like God teaching a lesson.
Right,
like,
right. But then my dad gets home and he's like, because I got the car impounded. So like I'm outside smoking a cigarette and like I see him come home like, oh fuck. He beat the living shit out of me.
No.
Yeah. And then like at the end he's like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Like you're doing this shit. Like you are not weak-minded. That's for weak-minded people. And I was like, you know what? You're right. Like that shit's like for weak-minded people, whatever. They try to put me into rehab. I was there for literally a day. And it was like the same shit as like Greenbrier. It doesn't really help with anything.
Right.
You know?
You're just like stuck somewhere. And
right,
stripped
exactly.
of any contact. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's just like, I was like, hey guys, I'm leaving. And everyone there, they're like, you're going to go back to doing drugs. You're going to do this. You're going to do that. And I was like, I am not going to go back to doing drugs, like just to spite you guys.
Yeah.
Because like the people there, I'm like, oh, is this your first time? I'm like, yeah, it's my first time. They're like, oh, this is like my 27th time here. I'm like, didn't you get it after like the first 3 times? But
how old were you when you were sent there?
Like 19, 20.
Okay, so you could check yourself out.
Right, yeah. I wasn't court ordered or anything.
Yeah.
But yeah, my dad like tried this. He's like, I'm not picking up, and I was like, that's fine, but I'm not staying here. I guess I'll just take the bus back, and like had all my clothes in a garbage bag. But then he came and picked me up anyway.
Oh,
so yeah, the good he always comes through. Always comes through.
Yeah. He's like, I'm gonna teach her a lesson, but then I'm gonna be there for her. That's good.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
So he might beat my ass, but at least I was over 18, so it's not really child abuse.
Right.
It's a fair fight. You know?
Did you fight back?
No.
You're like, sorry, Dad. I fucked up.
But I knew like he wasn't really hitting me hard. He would like cup his hand, so like none of the slaps really hurt.
He was just trying to really scare you.
Yeah. The only thing that really scared me, he kicked the cigarette out of my hand, and I was like, "Ooh,
that's scary."
Yeah, I was like, oh, "Damn, I've never seen you kick before."
He brought out the kicks, like he's pissed.
Exactly. But yeah, I did that. When I got out of there, I was like, "I'm not doing this shit anymore. Like, fuck it, whatever."
Yeah.
Got clean off of everything. Like now, I just fucking drink from time to time, and that's pretty much it.
That's amazing, girl.
Yeah, I think people just need that in their life.
Like need support or need what?
Just to not think like, oh, like feel sorry for themselves. Like you go there, like to these places, they're like, no, like this is a disease. Like you feel this way because your brain is fucked up. Like it's not. You have control to like a certain extent of what the fuck is going to go on in your life, how you're going to handle situations. You can choose like one way or you can do the other. And but like the same fucking rehab, they're telling people like, no, addiction's a disease. You're going to fall back into it.
Right.
It's just fucking.
I feel like there's a lot of enablement with the mentality, but no help or support with changing the action. And like, that's what's hard. So in part one, that's what I was concerned about. I was like, I don't want people to think that me telling this story is me trying to get sympathy or to have people feel sorry for me or anything like that. In fact, it's the opposite. Like, I almost want to say it and be like, you had no idea that I went through something like this. And because I've never talked about it and because I haven't let it stop me from doing anything that I want to do. And so it is dope talking to someone else that's had that mentality. So you're a mother now to a beautiful son. He's so cute. Could you ever imagine sending him away? And has it changed your perspective as being a parent on the other side now?
Okay, I would never send him away. That's
Okay.
yeah, it would not happen. If I had like if he had issues, like
Yeah.
was fucking acting out, was doing drugs, was doing whatever, that's not going to be fixed by sending him away. So there's no reason to.
Right.
Right. So it's going to be fixed at home with whatever tools I can to help him here. You know.
I love that. Yeah.
Yeah. There's
I would
no
have the same mentality.
Yeah.
My kid is
Fuck
not going
spending,
anywhere.
fuck spending that much money on something that's good in theory. You know, it sounds like nice but it doesn't really help.
No. I added a lot of their marketing into part 1. So it has me telling my story, and then it overlays with the video from their website.
Okay.
And it's fascinating how well they can market a place like this.
Right.
And then what's actually going on.
Is there the African drums in the marketing?
Yes, of course. I actually found a picture of me on the drum too. Like,
oh, really?
But eventually I do remember I was like, Kora, you got to play the part. And honestly, that's transferred into my life now. Like, fake it till you make it. That's the one lesson I think I learned from Greenbrier was fake it till you make it. I still do that today.
Right.
If I'm miserable at some points, I'm like, bitch, just fake it till you make it. It's gonna get better.
Just keep going.
Couldn't be worse than that point in my life. Okay. Did you stay in contact and see any girls after you were pulled out?
No.
None.
No. I think I saw the like Kay. Is that
I know who I knew who you were gonna say.
I saw Kay once and then that was it.
She was crazy, girl.
She was crazy.
Bad shit insane.
Absolutely.
That was one of my first roommates.
Oh my God. She stole my trunk.
I'm not surprised.
Yeah.
She was a shady mother. Also, just really quickly, I'm geeking at the photo that I sent you of us.
Oh no.
We looked so defeated, girl. Like we looked like we had been through some shit. Like why? Like, I was like, it's a clear depiction though of this one thing that really freaked me out looking through these pictures. And I remember sending it to you and you DM'd me back and you were like, I looked so chunky.
Oh, dude, yeah, that was the heaviest I've ever been.
Yeah. They were feeding us some shit.
Oh, absolutely.
And then they would make us sit there afterwards and digest the food. Do you remember that?
Yeah. But they did have like, I remember the cannolis. They had like, they made like a shit ton of cannolis for something. And like, they were there just like in the cafeteria and I would like go by every like fucking 5 minutes and like eat one. I'm like, dude, why the fuck would I do that?
Because there was nothing else to do.
Boredom. Yeah, I was like, we're good. Shove these down my face. Yeah.
Plus, you never really knew what they were gonna like, what the next meal was. So it's like,
right,
it's that one shit. Like, yeah.
And I remember like sometimes the vegetarian option was better. Like they had like vegan chicken nuggets or something.
Yeah, I do remember that.
Like, and I remember one of the girls that was actually vegetarian. Like, people would eat the chicken nuggets because they're like, fuck whatever.
Yeah, whatever the fuck they're giving us.
Yeah. And then she's like,
guys, if you guys aren't vegetarian, don't eat it because then I don't have food.
And
I
like,
remember this. I remember we were all in line and she like held up the whole fucking food line to have like a lecture.
And I was like, it really triggers me that you guys are taking my food.
And I was like, still gonna eat them though.
Yeah. We're like, we're triggered because we're hungry, bitch. Like, the food was a problem. Looking back at those pictures, like I saw myself 3 months prior to being sent away. And then like 2 months into being sent away, even like a month in, I was like, what happened to my body? Like this is not good. Like
it's very bad.
Did you have to deal with any labels like being a bad girl after your peers found out that you were sent away to a place like that? No, they didn't give a shit.
No.
I mean, I guess you ended up with your boyfriend doing drugs anyway. So
yeah, exactly. Like there was no worse than that, you know?
Yeah. Like,
It's like, oh, we're perfect for each other.
Okay, but do you think that you would have gotten into drugs like that anyway if you had not been sent to that school?
I don't know.
What were you doing before you got sent to the school?
Smoking weed.
Okay.
Like it was, yeah, everyone smokes weed, you
Yeah.
know, like,
No, 100%.
yeah, I don't know. Probably not, honestly.
Yeah.
But yeah, when I fucking got out, I just went all out on
Crazy.
everything. Yeah.
Same thing.
I'm gonna have
Same thing.
fucking fun. Yeah.
Yeah, totally.
Going out in like the fucking woods, four-wheeling and like fucking
That's so
state,
fun.
like fucking, what are they called? I don't know, like the Pine Barrens of New Jersey. Basically,
Yeah.
you go there, you're gonna get chased by cops.
Oh.
And yeah, but the cops only go like to a certain extent because their cars can't drive that far.
Right.
So we would just pass that, fucking have bonfires, like
That's
drink
awesome.
all the time. Yeah,
That's fun.
that was fun. Yeah, I had a lot of fun. I'm glad.
Good. That's
Yeah.
I'm glad. I feel like I kind of was robbed of my teenage years. Like I didn't
Yeah, that's what I
experience-
felt like.
Yeah. Like looking back, I think I wilded out. Like I went crazy. Like when I got out,
Right.
I was angry. I was hurt. I didn't trust a goddamn soul. Like,
Yeah.
and I just wanted to get fucked up all the time. But for me, like I'm soft girl. Like I did not do shit before I was sent away. I had maybe like I was taking a beer out of my dad's fridge here and there,
Right,
something like
yeah.
that. Like never touched weed, never seen weed. Like I never had sex. Like I was like sexually assaulted and I was pissed at my mom
Mhm.
for blaming it on my outfit. So like me and her we would have authoritative issues. Like, and
Right.
they had such strict rules and I didn't understand them. And I would ask questions about my adoption because I was adopted. And they like, so that's kind of why I was sent there. And then when I was there,
But did you notice that most of the girls that were there
Are
were
adopted.
adopted? Yeah.
yeah, I read something that's almost like, it was like 78% or something of the population was adopted. Yeah.
At that school, right?
At that school. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which says something. Like I
Right.
told my friends, some of my friends want to adopt, and I'm like, I don't know, girl. Like I was adopted, and I don't know if I would recommend that. Like adopted kids are kind of fucked up. Like, and I know I mean that in the
Yeah.
best way, but
Yeah.
that's a hard.
Like
thing to go
I
through.
wanna adopt too because like I feel bad for those
Yeah.
kids. Like there's a lot of kids in like the foster care system, their fucking parents do
Yeah.
drugs and then they end up with like some shit family. So
Or
I'm
they're
like,
a paycheck.
right, exactly. So I'm like, well, they could end up with me and like I'm not
would
looking at
be
them as like
so
a
good.
paycheck. Yeah. But then again, I also think like, man, what if I get like some fucked up kid
Yeah.
that like went through all this shit and now they're like in my house and they're jealous of my kid, so they start hurting him and I'm like, fuck.
It's scary. You never
Yeah.
know. You never know what you're gonna get. Like
Right.
it's hard because they deal with the detachment disorder. So it's
Right.
like,
It's like going to jail and picking out like the best convict, you know, like, oh,
Yeah.
I want this one to take home today.
Yeah.
As fucked up as it is, I think the same way of like dogs in shelters.
totally. I was thinking that.
Yeah.
Like even with the pit bulls, because pit bulls are so fun loving. Like they're the
Yeah.
best. But
Coma.
yeah. Yeah, I have a picture of you from your Instagram with the dog that I put in the
Yeah.
first episode.
It's
Hi, baby. Hi, love. But that's exactly what I mean. It's the same thing with kids and dogs. Like
Yeah.
pit bulls, like they're gonna be so sweet if you raise them that way, and if you raise them to not trust people and to be treated like shit, like they're gonna be a problem.
Like with dogs in shelters, like because I've fostered many dogs
Yeah,
and they're like, oh, this dog's perfect with this and that and like doesn't bite, loves other dogs, loves kids. I fucking get them in my house, they hate everybody. Yeah, because
yeah,
it's like a completely different dog that they described and you don't know like the history on the dog or anything like that.
that makes
So-
sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely, it's more serious, obviously, with kids. Like I'm like,
Right.
it's the same. Yeah, no, it's
No, with
serious.
Kids, it's more serious. 'cause
Yeah,
you're like, I would not give them back. If I were to bring someone into my house, no matter what fucking problem they had, I'd be like, well, I'm fucked
Well,
now, you
yeah.
know?
I
Then
just gotta pray
nice,
now.
but, yeah, I guess you're my kid, you know, like whatever.
We gotta get
Like,
through
I'll
this,
stick
man.
through it. Yeah.
I was adopted as a baby. And if anything caused a rift in the relationship, it's been the fact that I felt abandoned for the second time. Like, I was like, why would you guys adopt me if you were just going to send me the fuck away? At the school, dealing with other girls that have those kinds of issues, like, it becomes in some way like normal, and it's not normal.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. You can't get a bunch of fucked up people and then just put them together.
Yeah.
It's just going to create like more fucked up behavior. Yeah.
Yeah. Like, let's all just be really fucked up together.
Right. Yeah.
I actually remember one of our first conversations, you had told me something about probation and you were talking about sex. And I was like,
yeah, like I've never done this before. Like,
I've never done this. Yeah. Yeah. It's just funny now because now it's like I'm in Snapchat with my girls, like waving dildos around on,
right.
Like, it's nothing to me now. Like,
normal.
It's so normal. I'm so vulgar, and like I think it's totally normal. Like, I'm cursing, I don't even realize I'm cursing, because that was the kind of people I was around. And when I got out, I continued hanging out with those kinds of people because that's what I was used to at a certain point. So parents need to know, like, your kid is going to change when they come out, and it's not in a good way. Right.
Yeah. It's like, have you ever seen the movie Blow?
No. Yes. No. I think I saw Crank. I saw Crank.
There's this movie about this guy that like sells weed, right?
Okay.
So his mom like sends him to jail or something, so he gets arrested for fucking weed, but then he leaves there because now he has a new connect and a way to make more money with cocaine. So then he becomes like a huge cocaine like supplier. So it's like, yeah, so it's like you can't put people that aren't that fucked up with people that actually have eating issues, because that's gonna fuck up like everybody. Places like that enable people victimizing themselves, feeling sorry for themselves. Those places do not help. They do not help.
No, they don't.
Like, imagine going to, like, you're at the school. Oh, I'm triggered by someone smoking a cigarette in the movie. Like, turn the movie off. Okay, now what the fuck are you gonna do when you're out in like New York City and you're walking and someone's smoking a cigarette? You're gonna be, go home.
You don't have that kind of control.
Yeah, right. Yeah. So it's like they're enabling these behaviors that you really shouldn't. They're not helping you deal with anything, you know?
Right. Yeah. I think it's hard because they do put you in this isolated place, and in this isolated place you do everything according to very strict rules, but then you get out of there and you're given no tools to deal with real life influence of anything at all, and it's not possible to learn or develop any skills when you're that isolated and only dealing with other people that have kind of some sort of issue. So yeah, it's problematic. I think it's a waste of money. It's a waste of time. I think me and you are really lucky that we've been able to come out of it. And I know we chose to do that to a certain extent. Right. But we also have families that stuck by our sides. And I do know that like some of these girls did not have that. Right. Like, we're on this Zoom right now. We're talking about this. I like my life now. I'm sure you like your life now. Like, but like you said, it does enable this mentality where I'll go on Facebook and I'll see these girls making statuses, like how everything is such a big dramatic experience, like everything. Right. Yeah. But in a way, I do feel like in 2021, that's how a lot of people are. Like, it's very sensitive now. Dude, it's all about emotion. Yeah. And it's hard to exist in a world like that. Like, but at the same time, I'm like, we did that. Like, we did that where we couldn't even watch like a Channing Tatum movie because his abs were offensive. Like, like, wow, guys, like, I don't know about you, but I fucking need to see some abs right now. Like, I don't know. So, I mean, I agree with you on some of that. But I do also think, like, I try to see the other side, but I do agree, like, these schools are bad. Like, there's nothing really that positive that I think I got out of it. We can talk about how much it sucked, how it wasn't helpful, how we turned out pretty well. It was a journey, but we found our way. But we can't really offer up a great solution as to what an alternative would be besides not sending your kid away. So I feel like that's where the industry needs to step up.
Well, right. The best alternative would be for kids to be home with their families.
100%. Yeah.
Yeah. There's no way, like, even regular boarding, like, kids are not meant to be away from families. There's not really a place that you could make that would make these kids better.
Right. Yeah, I wish there was, but at the end of the day, I think it goes back to what you were saying before with like the enabling thing and like enabling that mentality. Like,
right.
We need to stop telling kids that they're a problem that needs to be fixed, because then they're going to grow up trying to fix themselves in a way like that doesn't help themselves. Like, I'm a problem. Right. I need to fix something. And I can't fix it. And so I'm hopeless. And it creates a self-fulfilling prophecy that leads to continuous failure in everything that they do. Yeah. And I'm witnessing it with other girls that we went to the school with. And luckily we've been able to break that pattern, but other people haven't. No. And I think it goes back to the fact that, kids need to be at home and they need to be loved when they're not loving themselves and when they're doing behavior that's fucked up. Yeah. And also told like when to step the fuck up and like be responsible for themselves and like their own actions, instead of just being like, oh, and you can say, this is triggering me. And then it's like completely out. Yeah. You know? Yeah. Okay. So what's life like now? Like, you've got your kid. What's going on now? Yeah. I recently got into fucking stocks. Me and my sister are trying to start a clothing business attached to my dad's line. Yeah. Nice. Like fitness stuff? Yes. Yeah. Cool. As of right now, I think we're doing mostly only like jujitsu and Muay Thai stuff, but we want to branch out to like everything. So like surfing, like everything. Yeah. Let me know when you're getting the like bodybuilders and powerlifters. Oh yeah. My people. We'll get there. We might get before the surfing. So hell yeah. That's it. Yeah. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I recently signed up to fucking compete in jiu-jitsu. And but barely fucking trained. So I'm probably gonna get my ass handed to me, but I'm okay with that. But your dad is like the best. He better give you some good tips. Like, that would suck. Yeah. You just go and get your ass just going there for the fun. Yeah. Are you just working? You work with your dad? Yeah, I'm working at the academy now. We opened up in I think like October or something, but we were closed for like 6 months. So during that fucking we did an RV trip. Like, I started traveling around. Yeah. That looked so fun. Yeah, I could not fucking sit still. I hate like sitting in your fucking house. I don't want to do that. Wasting a day. Yeah, exactly. Do you remember the teacher that I forget which one he was? He was so weird with the ponytail. Yes. Yeah. He like wrote in here. He was like our gym teacher too. Yeah, that was a joke. That was a joke. But he wrote in here in this scribble scrabble. Oh my God. He was like, Corey, you were not the best student I've ever had. However, you are a student that I respect. Oh my God. 10 out of 10 for honesty.